call tomorrow. Miss Esson will now read the notice convene the meeting.
Notice is hereby given that the regular monthly meeting of the General Council of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation will be held in the meeting room of the Municipal Corporation, Mark Bay, on Thursday, December 12, 2024, commencing at 10:07 a.m.
Let me take this opportunity to welcome members, officers, and agencies who are present. I would like to welcome you all to our monthly full council meeting. Pastor Perdue will now lead us into devotion.
We'll then invite the presence of the Lord. I'm really grateful to be here among some of Jamaica's most powerful people. And I really want the Lord to have His way in this room. So we're going to do this song, Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless His holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Now the purpose of my devotion this morning is to encourage all our counselors to move into the next chapter of your life by faith. Secondly, I want to tell them to build the faith of those who are going through trouble and tough times. So today I want you to know that the future starts today, not tomorrow. Every journey begins with a single step. Moving forward for most people is one of the hardest things to do when you have had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the old one. So when you look, brothers and sisters that are here today, chapter 24 is coming to an end. And many of us, we have had some rough days, bad times in chapter 24. Many of us, we have made mistakes in chapter 24. But God will not disqualify you because of the mistakes that you have made. You will not know what is ahead unless you begin the journey. You should never be in an hurry to give up because of one bad paragraph of your life. A paragraph is not the entire story of your life, but people love to reflect on your bad, but ignore the good that you are doing. So the chapter that I read to us, it reflects Israel coming out of Egypt, and they lost their leader, Moses. And they were sorrowful because they lost Moses. And they decided that they will not go a step further. But the Lord wants them to understand that there is a next chapter to your life. Can I say to all of us that are here, we know of the bad stuff that are around us, but there is a next chapter to our lives. We have got to move forward into the future to know what is this chapter is all about. And so the Lord, as I conclude, the Lord called Moses. Moses died, and we have seen the death of one of our counselors in this council. But the Lord called Joshua, and He said to Joshua, your responsibility is not to represent animals and trees, but people. And it is your responsibility to lead people into the future. The people that he was called to lead, they had problems, they were confused, they were discouraged, they were disappointed. But the Lord said, it is your responsibility to lead them into the future. So can I say to all our leaders that are in this house, as a representative of the Lord, I'm serving the Lord for 41 years, a pastor for 26 years. Trust me, I know that to manage people is not an easy thing. But the next chapter of your life will be much greater than chapter 24. So as we conclude chapter 24 and we are going to approach chapter 25, I want you to go in faith and trusting in God. So God bless you all.
Take this opportunity to welcome members of Parliament and leader of opposition, Mr. Mark Rowland, members of Parliament, Philip Hallway, and Dr. Benton. Are there any colleagues are absent? NIS will be absent.
Chief Public Health Inspector, who is at another urgent meeting.
Are there any more?
BBC President is unavailable today.
The minutes are being circulated. Is there any correction? Page 2. Page 3. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 15. Could someone move for the confirmation of the minutes? We will now move into the swearing of the councillor-elect, Ms. Yvonne Rosemary Shaw. I am requesting a motion for a suspension of standing order to facilitate the swearing of the councillor-elect, Yvonne Rosemary Shaw. Can I have a mover and a second, please?
So moved. I'll close it.
Can you call him Mr. Operator, please?
All right, our counselor will now go through her instrument. The first instrument is her oath of office.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I, in accordance with the Section 29 of the Local Governance Act 2016, I, Yvonne Rosemary Shaw, having duly elected to the office of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, do hereby swear that I will duly and faithfully fulfill the duties of such office without fear or favor, partiality or ill will, and to the best of my judgment and ability, so help me God.
If the our leader of opposition, if you want to join, at this time she's going to be declared as councillor. She's going to do a declaration.
I, Yvonne Shaw of the Moran B Division, solemnly swear that I will, to the best of my ability, do my duties as a councillor or the municipal corporation of the parish of St. Thomas.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. We're going to ask Ms. Sergio to take her other documents to her at this time. So we have her book that states what takes place as a counselor. I know she's not new to being a counselor, but all the other instruments, the bylaws, and all of the other instruments are presented to her at this time. So we now present to you our counselor, Ms. Yvonne Rosemary Shaw. Okay, so we now have our 10 compliments of counselor. We now move back to the agenda.
Yes, so we will now go through all the matters.
Item 6A, Red Hills and Yalas Housing Scheme Roads Application Program. We now ask our Superintendent of Roads and Works to report on this matter.
Good morning, everyone. Regarding to the Yalas and Red Hills housing project, matter basically remains the same. We had our site close out date in November for both project, and we are now in the process of releasing the retention on the project. So as soon as funds come to the country, we will be paying all outstanding funds. Thank you very much.
Morning, everyone. For the skip update, progress of construction for civil works and pipeline installation, package 1, Yalas to Lone Hill, asphalt wearing course and concrete works, and the package is now considered substantially complete. The overall completion to include pipeline is now at 97% considered practically completed as of July 2024. Package 2 relating to Pomfret. Remedial works remain ongoing and scheduled to be completed. Works have also commenced on other defects and outstanding works identified in the walkthrough. These works are scheduled to be completed by mid-December. Overall completion to include pipeline is at 98% complete, considered practically completed as of July 2024. Package 3, Pomfret to Morant River Bridge. To date, all wearing course and other works are considered substantially completed. Walkthrough to identify outstanding works and defects are now completed, and work has commenced by the subcontractor to address issues identified. The final walkthrough to commence. The taking over process with the subcontractor has also been completed. Overall completion to include pipeline is at 98%, considered practically completed as of July 2024. Package 4, Morant River Bridge to Prospect. All the pipelines have been sterilized and commissioned. Other activities on site include the construction of rubber masonry wall, parapet wall, toe wall, concrete drain, HDP pipe culvert, catch basin, end treatments, concrete box culvert, curb and gutter, HDP conduit, and work on the Stony Brook Bridge and the Lisa Bridge. Overall completion to include pipeline is at 68% with a planned completion date of March 2025. Package 6, Arcadia to Wheelersburg. To date, site clearance is at 96% complete. Roadway survey and environment filling and base course filling are ongoing. Other activities on site include masonry wall, carpet wall, concrete drain, the installation of HDP pipe culvert, end treatment, catch basins, curb and gutter, and 2x2 HDP conduit construction has also commenced on the box culvert. Overall completion to include pipeline is at 75%, with a planned completion date of March 2025. Package 8, Arlington Long Road. All pipelines have now been sterilized and commissioned. The handing over process is now complete and the signed taking over certificate has been received from NWC. Package 14, Morant Bay to Georgia. All pipelines have been sterilized and commissioned. The handing over process with the NWC is still ongoing and pending final signatures. For package 15, which is Georgia to Cedar Valley, it says work to be completed with the installation of pipes.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ellis, yes, I remember we the light pole, but when I checked with the parish manager for the parish at JPS, she's telling me that she don't have any requests from JPS, and I checked with Mr. Dwight Hamilton. They don't have any communication with check removing those poles, and they are wondering, and he spoke about where the courthouse is building for urban center, the line that come from town. There are certain things that people cannot do because they want the voltage are too close, and then they remove that line, and until now they really finish and they do it, then they can't hit on their side. I am saying, sir, he is meeting, and I am looking at from package 5 going on to 6. The roadway, I have traversed that side actually every day. And when I look and then you talk, the drainage that you're talking about, when I check with, I go there and check is telling me that they only replace, they only doing the road and they lead off to the original drain. But is NWA responsible for the make preparation? So you're letting, you call it have a bottleneck. So you're letting everything down there. So no they take it. That's why you see Martha River, all in place, and everybody here who knows that turf here would have known that they must ask. And I even have to ask, even former member of parliament, you can see and know say it never do so. And when you talk, they talk and believe say it's just certain things. But we have to protect, as well Mr. William and everybody said, you come here because of vote. And if you don't do it right, you will not return. So listen to me. I am saying again, sir, when you got a meeting, it must, because I go there Sunday now, and the man was very rude to me. So who dare the security carry to talk? So we tell him, say, one thing, we're going to try to live America. It's my country. And I will do everything, like Paul would say, to protect the people. Right? So I'm asking you again, so when you go at the meeting, I recommend that the engineer should sit on that meeting because the engineer knows more than, I don't want to say you don't know enough, but the engineer had a day-to-day thing in it. Yeah, so he supposed to be there. Because when you build so many drains, and then, as I always said, when you cut the ribbon and go on a town, we leave here with the problem. As I say to Mr. Wenham, Milton, the gentleman that was doing the house and the switch out of the this switch is not working there now, you know. And I said, when you cut the ribbon, release the houses and gone, the people them have the problem. But when them gone, Mr. Ellis, we have the problem. So I'm saying they need to step up. Why they refuse to come and meet with us at the local board? We represent people, and none of them refuse, all of them refuse to come and sit there. It's a son right, and nobody will turn up. But they have to get the first-hand experience from we who are the people on the ground. Because I go there the other day and see the amount of water, you know, and they continue, and nobody listen. Because you know, you look at Stokes right now, nobody, even Jarrett Lake, they must turn the water around there. Right, then you go and ask them, they say they will fix it. Right? So there are certain things that we don't have NWA to speak to. We don't have check. We don't have you. So, care about the message. Please.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. When are we going to speak about package 1, package 2, package 3, go all the way to package 15? The entire road project is a disaster, and we have to call it for what it is. If you look at the road coming along from about Yaps, the amount of bad spots or defective spots that are in the road, I believe that if it was an orange or a fruit, you'd have to cut off some bad spot off. You'd have condemned the whole thing. Because it's clear that it's the subsurface is just bad for the road. You can't tell me that you're finding these spots here, there, and there. And you're going to cut out these spots, cut out these spots, cut out these spots. No, we're supposed to have a new highway. No, I can't wear a suit come to council full of patch and call it a brand new suit. So the entire project is a disaster. And I have to put it at the foot of every Warmington because him say MWA no need to come to this meeting. We get no report as a local authority. So when government have a structure, a system that is put in place to be whether watchdog or to ensure that quality work, quality service being given out, and one man believe he has the power to just take out that system, take out that structure, we gonna have problem. And we sit here and we allow it to happen because a lot of us here play politics, and because a certain person might be on a certain side, we accept it. But what we are doing is a disservice to the people who vote for it. So we have to stand up on it. So until when we can have some form of oversight or properly supervision of that work, we're gonna always have this problem. These contractors, they just do as they wish. They don't have to answer to nobody. See the council go forget the councilor go forget some information. Who dare him to go to the contractor? This is what we have been facing. And it's because one man believes he can just remove a system. Because he don't want to answer no questions. And that's why we end up with this situation today. But you know what is sad? When the government, come out and spend so much money on a highway for the next 20 years, this type of money can't be allocated to St. Thomas already. We have to get that in our thick skulls. So this is a long-term problem that we're going to have to live with as a people. So it can't be something that we sit and just live with because our party is in power. Because let me tell you something, government change. So all who see them now, me don't want when PNP in a power. Can't go along, me know. The pastor preached this morning about the next chapter. And that is in the next chapter of leadership for this country. So when that chapter fulfilling and we the hearing in the next chapter, chapter 25, right, Pastor? We don't expect to hear some people who sit quietly, did the same thing, stand and try to criticize the government of the day. I don't wish to be here then, but who is coming? From my side, I'm going to stand up strong and speak to it, because all of us that have the opportunity to speak out now and claim what is rightfully ours as a parish.
Your Worship, it is my greatest pleasure to be here. And I'm not going to make a speech this morning. But following up on what Councillor Williams, member from Whitehorse, just said, I hope, sincerely do hope, that what he said a while ago about the minister advising a civil servant not to attend a council meeting, I hope that is not true. I am used to a system where civil servants don't necessarily answerable to a minister of government. And there is no way that the minister of government can instruct a civil servant not to attend meetings. The permanent secretary is the accounting officer. So when I heard this, I was really disturbed. And I sincerely hope, Madam CEO, that you stand on your feet in this council to protect the laws of the land and the citizens of St. Thomas. You're the person who should advise us. You're the accounting officer. So I sincerely hope, that during my time here, I will see that coming from you. Don't allow any politician to instruct you what to do. Make sure what you're doing is right and just. And I want to say, have no fear, regardless of the narrative out there that I am a monster. I have sat in this council, not here at this location, at the courthouse, and we have never had any difficulty, whether with civil servants or councillors. If we're here to, on one accord, the business of the people must be foremost. So, I hope that at the next meeting, the National Works Agency will be present at this meeting, because there are many issues out there. And we're not criticizing the road project, we're happy for it. But where you see dereliction of duty, it must be brought to because I'm not happy driving from Kingston, driving back to Kingston with some of the road, the whole management. And I've had the opportunity to speak on the management of this road project from its inception. So I sincerely hope that we can get some clarity from the agency, which is the National Works Agency, which is responsible for major roads. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me just take a quick second to add voice and volume to the welcoming of our most recent addition to the parish council. I acknowledge the depth of experience that accompanies her. With regards to the road development, with regards to the road development challenges we are having on package 4, Morant to Prospect. Last night it took me 90 minutes from Morant Bay to Port Morant. Repair work is being done but there seems to be absolutely no plan on traffic management. Those of you who happened to be on the road last night would have bled. There were emergencies on the road because even the fire truck was stuck in traffic and couldn't move. I don't know who is in charge, but whoever the project manager is, they really have to get to the logistics of the situation and ensure that there is reasonable flow of traffic in spite of the road work that is being done. And what bothers me even more, we are at the 12th of December, going into the center of the Yuletide season. And I cannot imagine next week this time, if we have that kind of a road work going on, what is going to happen to St. Thomas and the commerce that is supposed to happen in our space. Please, I don't know if it will require an emergency meeting being called, but something must be done. Otherwise, as I say, up and down the ticket, consequences will be felt as a result of how we deal with the people and how they traverse the roadways.
You're going to demonstrate again?
Just one clarity to the business policies. It wasn't a situation specifically for St. Thomas. He stopped all NWA from attending any council meeting right across Jamaica. It was a national policy. So it's sad, really sad, but let me tell you something. And there are CEOs that definitely don't agree with it. There are local reps from both sides that don't. But as you know, this is a man where not even the Prime Minister can control it. We know that. Not even the Prime Minister. Because we have wrote, the previous council have wrote to the Prime Minister himself to look into the matter and to make a decision. And we're yet to get any response. So I just want to make it clear that this is something that's going on. I see St. James made a big deal about it, rightfully so, and nothing have been done. Nothing, no correction. So I'm just saying this is a real problem, and it's a problem that must be treated at some time, else we're going to have situation and situation.
I just want to go back to Redding's housing scheme because I did not get a chance to speak on that matter. Superintendent, a question to you here. I note you said that the project has come to an end and the retention.
Yes,
but I want to ask, what about the second phase of this project? Because as recent as yesterday, I was called by the citizens of Redding's housing scheme. When I looked, a section of the wall is caved in, and I understand that was supposed to have been a part of the whole project. So, if you have any clarity on that matter, I am duly applied.
I cannot speak to which section of the wall you're talking about, but the project is two phases. Phase one has just been completed. We had some issues with the contractor because the drain at the front is not been part of phase one, but because there are some dispute, we have decided to part ways with the contractors. With the contractor, pay him for all the work done, and we are going to re-tender for phase two, which include additional drainage, including the drain at entrance and the drain, we will call it now. Down the side we have the cemetery, the bottom the phase one. So phase two will commence as soon as we paid off the contractors and then we re-scope and re-tender.
And might I ask, what is the timeline? Do you have a timeline?
We don't have a timeline as yet because that depends on how soon we can actually re-scope and re-tender and choose a contractor. We are working on it as soon as possible because but I can say that funding was in place because NHG is the agency that actually fund the project. So as soon as we pay the contractor, we will actually re-scope and then tender process, and then from there we can determine a timeline as to where we will actually start the project.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to officially welcome Councillor Evan Shaw, the elected representative for the Mark Bay Division. My colleagues and I look forward to working with you to make St. Thomas a better parish. I I would also like to announce that the Mayor Tree Christmas tree lighting and fireworks event is this Sunday, December 15th at the Randolph Elder Park. The trees begin at 10 a.m. while concert and fireworks begin at 6 and 7 respectively. Report from agency. Report from Social Development Commission.
Our report for today, but is there any question for the SDC?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I rise again, you would have known why I rise. And I'm so happy this morning that the former member of parliament stayed there because this is an issue from FEMA. I must be able to point and I pointed out on that, but I just raise the question. That is not your problem, it is me and Dr. First's problem. Mr. Solomon still control the place. I don't afraid, I'll tell you, I take off the lock, you know, and put a new lock. Just like when my colleagues go out of voting. So I'm saying, madam, when is the meeting for it? Because NHT, NTA willing to take the premises to train the people who needed those assistance. And I'm saying, I call him, he said speak with SDC, and anytime SDC ready, he's ready for the meeting. So I'm asking that you can give us an update and tell me when the meeting and when the changeover gonna be. Because remember I said I want a committee from the community. A committee to form. Not that was who them select or set them. You must have people from in the community to form that committee.
Okay, Mr. McLeod, we will be writing to Mr. Solomon. Yesterday in the meeting we have spoken about it. Myself and the officer for the here, Ms. Bennett, will be writing to Mr. Solomon. So the first thing in January, the meeting will be called for us to settle that matter. Any other question? Mr. Jones, I don't forget your meeting.
No, I have nothing to say.
Yes, I'm just reminding you that don't forget your meeting that I'm supposed to organize for your side. But any other question? Go ahead.
Madam, I'd just like to find out if the SDC is still responsible for the licensed community center.
No, they have a center management committee. I think the president of it is Mr. Morgan, so we no longer have jurisdiction over it.
Report from the NSWNA.
Yeah.
Morning, councillors, your worship, members of the public. Ms. Shaw, Councillor Shaw, just like to, on behalf of the Solid Waste Management Authority, National Solid Waste Management Authority, to welcome you to St. Thomas, and we're looking forward to working with you. Things are not as we would like them to be right now. Right now, we're having a bit of a challenge in that a lot of the trucks are down. We had 2 company trucks in the parish, and one of them is down. We're trying to get it back up, but we'll be sending some trucks tomorrow to try and alleviate some of the problems. We currently have 9 loads of backlog on the B side, and just to remind you, backlog is ending in excess of 8 days. So we have 9 truckloads of garbage on the B side to remove and 5 late loads on the B side. While on the A side we have 6 backlog loads and 3, which is the first in a long time we've had so many loads of uncollected garbage. I know you're getting complaints now, we're asking the residents to bear us a little bit because we're trying to sort out the issue. We started the night collection last night. So last night we started our first night collection in the parish. We did Morant Bay, the town centre. We also did licensed main road and church corner main. So I don't know if anybody saw the trucks over on the road, or the truck on the road last night. And we did Red Hills housing scheme last night. Tonight we're going to be going into Fort. The plan is to do it 5 nights for the week. We're going to do night collections.
So it began last night, and hopefully all goes well with that, and that might help to ease some of the problems going further into the Christmas period, because we are behind while we're trying to catch up. As I said, we're going to send some trucks. Our list of the places, I don't know if it would make sense to read them all out now, because it's a fair amount, but anybody wants, they could ask, and I could tell you if what's happening there, and we can see how best we can alleviate it. That would conclude what I have as the formal presentation, but I welcome any questions.
I only have one concern. We need to do some proper scheduling, because, for example, you come into any community in the night without the resident knowing that their garbage is going to pick up Monday night, whatever. They're not going to put out the garbage. And we other things that going on in this country with crime, you know. And when I want to come out and the house after them going, you know. So when you're lucky, you know, because you might go out and it might be the last time home. So you have to put these things in place. Saying that Lita and a Monday night, Prospect Tuesday night. But you can't just drive the truck going on the place and not expect say it's going to be efficient. Not be effective, it's not going to be effective that way. So please put that in place. And same thing even the daytime pickup. A lot of people garbage bins in their yard space, and the gate might be locked. So sometimes you just turn up at a particular community X time. You don't get to collect the garbage. So the objective is not being met. We can put some scheduling. People know that X day, Y day, your community going to be cleaned up. Please, let's try. And you come to meeting and even sometimes you say you have 0 rate of backlog, meaning you're going good. So if you can reach that level, you can put some scheduling in place, please.
You are quite correct, Council. All of what you said there is in fact correct. Nothing you said there is wrong. We do want to stick to the schedules, but I said right now, especially, there are many times we don't have any backlog, meaning we're collecting a 7-day period, but we're not on schedule. We're not even able to stay on the day we're supposed to necessarily. But the aim is to get it out of.
Why not, Mr. No man, I don't want you to say, I know them something kind of throw me out. Say you want to stick on schedule. You can't stick on schedule when there's none. For me, I come at this meeting, I've never get a schedule that for White Horse Division example, White Horse is proper going to pick up on that day, Botany Bay going to pick up on that day, X place. I've never ever get that. And I've been here for a while, even before you start coming to this meeting. So you can't tell me, say, when did the gate open and I come to the meeting? I'm saying we can't stick to something if it's not there. So the first thing we have to do, the first step in the process is to put one out. Then we can understand that our system might not reach where it's supposed to reach. So we're not going to kill you one at a time or a couple of times. You know, get to stick to it. But you can't stick to it if you don't have it. So let's start there, please.
Okay, so I don't want to say I'd rather to say you forgot. Because the last time I said it was on the website, and before you left, I actually pulled it up and showed it on the website that is there. I showed you personally, so to say I've never seen it will not be accurate. But again, I'm going to repeat it on the NSWMA's website. If you're just going to put it in St. Thomas, to bring up the St. Thomas schedule, even right now you can do it if you like to. It is there. And I'd say I'm sticking to it because it would of course require that we have the garbage trucks in the consistently enough that we can hold the schedule when there is a schedule. And we want to be on the schedule. We want to follow the schedule, but we're not necessarily able to do it at all times. So we want to follow the schedule, as I said. It's not necessarily there. You ask about announcing or how the residents are going to deal with it at night. Yes, the plan is to inform the residents. We're going to add the night because the night hasn't been the night collections are not on the schedule now. And truthfully, we weren't planning to do the night collections until maybe next year. We're going to start at the start of the year. But because we're running into problems, we try to fast track things to get it going. So I know we're not telling people where we're going yet. And it does create a problem because you're right, people don't put out them stuff at night and then the truck come and that creates a whole other set of problems. We're hoping that it won't be too much of a burden that we offset things that much. Okay? So I agree with you though, we need to make the residents know where they're coming. How we're going to set up the schedule, a proper schedule so that people know which nights on the night schedule we're coming. You found it, I see you looking for it.
I'm looking for it, but you can't see it.
Alright, before we finish again, I will make sure you get it again. Because I did show you the last time.
So wouldn't.
Yes, Council.
Okay. That'll be far from Kingston and Marley. And I asked the question already from the monitor for that year.
from where I live, you know, garbage truck have to reverse from Duckett to the crossroad to right up at Dalby. Can't pass where the intersection between Dalby top and Jane's car because of the light wire down there. We raised it to Mr. Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton said, send it up there. He asked for your monitor to make an appointment for him to go with him and show him exactly where the position is. Up to now, Mr. Wang don't turn up. I spoke to you about it and I spoke to Mr. Grasset about it. And how much now? 2 months. So people don't have no time. So I beg you, sir. All Mr. Hamilton at JPS one is the guy to go. I offered to him, but the time when I offered to go, he was on leave. But he's still there. So I'm asking, and parking lot, sir. Please. Parking lot. And down at, but that part between Water Lane and come up back to the no garbage.
Okay, Councilor McLeod, I do remember the question about, or the issue about setting up an appointment with the JPS representative. I actually thought it had been done and was out of the way said not done, so I'm going to have to get back to them and find why they didn't do it, because they did call about it and we were supposed to schedule an appointment with JPS. I don't know where it fell down or what happened at the end of the day, but I'll have to check on it and make sure it's done. Morning,
the Sun Hill and Port Jose, Wednesday with some sweepers.
I'd have to look at that and see what the numbers are, the sweeping schedule, and we can see if that covers the area that you're talking about. If not, we can actually talk about it. Depending on the nature of the road that it is, we could make a case for adding a sweeper to it if there is none yet. And I'd say there isn't any because I don't know exactly where. I'd have to look on it on the sweeping schedule. But there sweepers can be added if, for instance, it is a highly trafficked area, if it's in the vicinity of a school, a hospital or something that needs to be kept up, then yes, the sanitation or the aesthetic of it needs to be cleaner when the public is using that space to look good, then yes, we can make a case for it and add a sweeper.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Goldman, you know when it come on to the trucks for the parish, always get me upset. And the reason why, half the time you attend meeting and you give a grandstanding announcement regarding trucks for this parish. My question to you this morning, Mr. Gold, based on the bulky waste and the Christmas cleaning from both councillors and MPs, how are you going to deal with that matter regarding trucks? Because you're saying now that the trucks are down. The last meeting you attended, you said that the truck that they promised us would be in the parish the following week. Now you're saying that it's 2 contractors now with trucks, and we are in a period where a lot of bushing, a lot of cleaning. How are you going to address that matter with just only 2 contractors?
Well, I didn't say anything about the amount of contractors, Councillor, to be honest.
Trucks,
and I didn't say how many trucks either, but I'm going to clarify that for you though. In terms of in regard to the company trucks, the blue trucks that you see out there, we actually had 2 of them up to just until this time, sometime this week. One of them have a hole in the gas tank, say leaking out the gas. The bottom of the tank, something punch at the bottom of it, the aluminum tank. We're trying to get it welded in town, and then when we get it welded, it will be back in the parish. Actually, we wanted to get it back by Wednesday. It didn't work out. So I'm hopeful maybe by tomorrow we might have it repaired and the driver can pick it up and bring it back to the parish. With regard to the bulky waste is tipper trucks. Of course, we don't have enough tipper trucks to assign one to the parish, unfortunately. I wish we had it, but we don't have it. So what we do is we schedule the tipper truck. The tipper truck came down, I believe, on Tuesday. It's the one looking here. The tipper truck came, I think, on Tuesday. Of course, it's nowhere near enough, but we have to try and work with what the resources that we have, and we do schedule tipper trucks for the parish. If you have a particular challenge or a problem, you can bring it to our attention and we can put you on the limited schedule that we have and we can address it.
Mr. Chairman, so I don't know if you listen exactly what you just said about the truck and the defectiveness of the truck. Seems as if you have gave St. Thomas one of your defective trucks based on what you're saying about gas tank and all of that. Mr. Good, listen, you see, when it comes to garbage collection, how the residents come down on the councillors, not MPs, the councillors, in regards to garbage collection, it seems as if we are employed to National Solid Waste. So I'm saying to you, based on what you're saying, is that you're not treating the parish the way you're supposed to treat it in regards to transportation. And I want a proper answer this morning so that when the residents of Yalas come down on me, I can defend myself.
Okay, so I just to clarify or to answer your question, I did hear what you said, and I said to you, it's not a defective truck. The truck was working in the parish for weeks since the last meeting. The truck punch at the bottom of the gas tank. So it's not a defective truck or old truck, it's an aluminum tank or a big metal tank, and something punched a small hole is in the bottom of the tank, and it started to leak. We put gas in it and see it all leaking back up because he came into town and said there's a problem, and when we look, it's the gas tank leaking. He said losing gas somewhere in the phone, the gas tank wasn't dripping out at the bottom of the tank. So we're trying to get the tank repaired. It's not because the truck is a defective truck. The truck drives well and everything, it just have a gas tank leak, very unfortunate. Maybe gone and dump or something, I don't know where in Punjab, but it's punctured and we're trying to repair it. We want to address the thing properly. We're having some challenges, so we're sending 2 trucks tomorrow. We started the night collection, and hopefully the truck, that is the gas tank, is being repaired. It will be repaired by Friday, and you'll have the truck back by maybe Saturday the latest. The dumping sites, the illegal dumping sites, it's usually something that we need the tipper trucks for. As I said, I don't have a tipper truck that's assigned to the parish yet. But we do schedule it and it comes into the parish. So if you bring it to my attention, for instance, in the coming week, next week, I can send, if you say to me you have dumping illegal dump sites here, here, and here, I can send a truck to address it.
When that meeting here, we was promised three new trucks. We get one before, right? And the other 2 will come after the other step. Come. Also, a tipper truck available to the parish. That's what the council are going to, you know, sir. So if you come here and I will tell us a truck we will prepare, and that means our truck will get through. What? You know, see, it can't be. You promise, you know, one new truck first, then the other 2 will come after the other 50 or 100 come. We don't get none. I'm saying it can be what we supposed to get your shortfall, and then come in and what? I wouldn't tell the truth. Let me finish that.
Councilman Clough, but I don't understand because I keep saying the same thing. We had 2 trucks in the parish, and if I promised you 2, I said 2 to 3 trucks. If you check the minutes of the meeting when I actually spoke, I said 2 to 3 trucks. We have 2. That means I don't want the third one.
That's my daughter. Yes. I want to ask the colleague them. What Mr. Gunn say about the truck them? But you tell me the family. Don't go down that road, Mr. Gunn.
I did say 2
Don't
to 3
go down that
trucks.
road.
We can look at it and see what it said because I did say 2 to 3 trucks. But that aside, we did have 2 trucks and it's not an effective truck. If something punctured the gas tank, I can't do anything about that. But don't say the truck is defective because it's not a defective truck.
Chairman, I think the pertinent question at the moment is, Mr. Gordon, did we get a new truck?
You got 2 trucks, yes.
Well, no, man. Listen, just answer the question. No, just answer, please, Mr. Gordon, just please.
Okay.
Did we get the new trucks or did we get a new truck? I put the word new.
To be honest, I'm not sure if they were brand new trucks. But stop. No. You know, I didn't promise you new trucks, and I'm going to tell the trucks with plastic turn over the sea. That to me is irrelevant. That to me is irrelevant, to be honest. It's not the newness of the truck, call it the garbage. So when it's new or 2 years old, because none of the trucks that we sent here was more than 2 years old. I can promise you that. Because I will not send up as you want to put the old truck to St. Thomas because we don't have a proper garage facility here. So I said quality trucks to St. Thomas.
No man, you're very disingenuous. You promised us a set of truck was coming in the country and you tell us that we are getting all time. So unless the government buy used truck, So like how we did have a used car scandal. You are telling me say MSW you are going to have a used truck scandal now? Can you have to make yourself clear now? You told us that a set of truck coming in. So you are telling us the set of truck will come in. A used truck? Tell me about used trucks. You need to answer that question. It's very important for the meeting. To bring clarity to the meeting.
So let me, can I answer you?
Yes.
Okay. I don't recall I said when the new trucks come, we will have trucks that the parish will get trucks that from the company trucks that will be posted in the parish. If you want to interpret that to mean that I said you will get new trucks, I don't know, I can't respond for what you interpret here. But I did say to you that you will get trucks in the parish. I promised you 2 to 3 trucks, and you did get 2 trucks. I'm still very hopeful that a 3rd truck will come. A 3rd company truck in addition to supplementary units, but I never promised you that is a brand new truck coming with the plastic on the seat. I never said that, anything like that. I said when the trucks come, you will receive trucks that are posted in the parish, and so said, so done.
You see, every time Mr. Guru I make a more report, me I take that privilege to go out and make any phone call I want to make out the door and what I want to do. Because nothing that Mr. Guru said is factual. In coming next meeting, I just change him out. And I know I'm not the only councillor here that thinking this, or even civil servant, we are thinking that. Mr. Guru, maybe we don't want to go ahead. Because listen where I try to tell yourself now when I try. Say you never said. If you tell me say a truck will come, I said that truck will come and we will get out of the truck. Oh, you will tell me now say out of the fleet when them have already we will get. Why we can't get something new? So St. Thomas deserve something new. I pay you some St. Thomas can get. Because you told us that we are getting out of that. So you can't come now. I bet you come and apologize and say never work out. So we can understand that. But don't come and tell the world how we feed that man. Anybody that's fool, me know me not fool, you know. In a clear Jamaican thing, in language, you know. So you can't come and try to do that, man. Be a man, and just say, boy, the thing never work out the way how you planned it. Bigger heads do what they want. And we can't accept that. But not tell us that we are get a set, we are get truck out of the set that coming in. Everybody sit down in here and knows that a set. So come on, man. You need to apologize to the meeting. Can you just lie to the meeting? You need to apologize to the meeting. Because we have our minister of the archive where we can't draw back, you know, Mr. Guru. Mr. Guru, you have to be truthful when you come to these meetings. The report doesn't mean nothing if you're not going to be truthful. Please.
Okay, just to say again, I never said new trucks. I said when the new trucks come, I will say it again and I'm being dishonest. Just like I didn't think you were being dishonest when you said it into the schedule last time. You may be misunderstood again. But just to be clear, I did not say you're getting new trucks. I said when the new trucks come, I will. What I'm trying to say is that I have enough trucks that St. Thomas will get trucks assigned to the parish. I never tell you which truck you're getting or I say you get company trucks. Trucks will be assigned to the parish. But if you want, then you can pull your minutes and we can consider what was said.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. God.
Yes, sir.
I want you to remember clear that when the first batch of trucks came in the island, every single parish was mentioned with the amount away from St. Thomas. When you came to our meeting, you give us all the explanation about the road and every single thing. And there was a second batch to come in the island. And you said to us that we are going to get from that batch. And Mr. Good, you remember clearly what Councillor John Lee said to you? Ensure that you don't take any defective truck from any parish and send to St. Thomas. Ensure that we get one of the new ones. And now this morning you're telling us that that wasn't the discussion. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'm asking again, Madam CEO, that we write to the management of NSWMD to have a meeting that means that every time we come, we don't go over the thing over and over. Have a meeting and sit down and I know exactly where we're going. At full time we have that.
Your worship, I thank you all councils. Merry Christmas. Hopefully we will be able to clean up. What is important to me is to remove the garbage from the residents. Because we don't want the garbage at anybody's gate, especially for the Christmas. So we're doing all we can to get it out within a week. We hope we're back on the schedule that's posted on the website.
The report was tabled and sent. Any questions?
In terms of the recovery effort after the hurricane, we were told that help is on the way. As a farmer myself, I've yet to see the help. The last time the manager was here and he said, yes, there was some stuff that come. So I said, but I don't see anybody in my farming space get the help. I said, oh, it was some seed and stuff like that, but the bigger part of the help is yet to come. So I'm asking if that yet help is yet arrived.
Yes, receive stuff at the office, seeds, fertilizers, and those things have been distributed to farmers within different extension areas through the parish. Any other questions?
Rather, I heard you mention seeds, fertilizers, and the likes. In terms of monetary compensation, because I know a number of small farmers, livestock, and poultry. So in that respect, is there any help for those persons?
Not in terms of money, but I know we should receive some broiler birds and feeds. I'm not sure the date. We have to get some information on that and get back to you with that.
And I know that the help didn't come in money, but could we quantify the help that St. Thomas received? I really want to know if it was a reason, if it's something to talk about. We give thanks to small mercies, but we want to know, say, our parish, as a representative, it's my job, it's our job to ensure that our parish gets a fair share. So in terms, we want to quantify. Do you know in dollar value about what amount of help St. Thomas received?
No, I couldn't give it a figure now, sir.
Yeah, but was that in the report?
Pardon?
Was that information in the report that was presented to the meeting today? Because
No,
that would be a very important piece of information. Maybe the most important piece of information that could be in the report.
I just, in terms of monetary value, it's not in the report, but we did receive over 351 bags of fertilizers. We have distributed over 207 bags so far. But in terms of the whole monetary thing, no, I don't have that data with me.
So could we get that next meeting, Mr. Chairman? Could we request that next meeting, your team quantify that and we could hear the dollar value of help that the parish actually received?
No problem, sir. Yes, sir.
The cost of further charging to plow land, very expensive. I know first time when farmers always run to Rod because Rod always have a more cheaper price than normal tractor man. But their prices are very high now. People always run to Rada because Rada always be the help. But right now, Chairman, Rada price is very high to plow land.
Alright, so currently we have the best price within to pay lands. Because currently it's $10,000 per acre rather charges. Other private investors.
Yeah.
Where's that? No, we're like 15 and 20,000. Where's that 8,000?
More eastern farmers.
No, I'm not aware of that. That those farmers, because we do a lot of work with them there. Suppose no, I can tell you, we do a lot of work with those persons, those operators that provide services. And it's not 8,000, it's 15,000 more. So we do have the cheapest price.
And the next thing.
Rosem.
Yeah, you're chat that
I'm not going to chat.
Chair? Sir, I I want to express disappointment. Maybe you've been given basket to carry water, because we know how this country runs. I would have thought that Hurricane Beryl has passed. You have persons who have lost livestock, as I said before, poultry. We're coming on to the Christmas season, and I would have thought if the poultry farmers would have been given some level of assistance, you know, so that at least they could have some form of support, right? Because this is the time when you have chicken selling and all of that. So yes, really and truly, as I said before, maybe it's been kept down, but I wanted to take it back to your superiors to tell them that this council is very disappointing, as it relates to the distribution since Hurricane Beryl in that sense.
No doubt. Any other questions?
One of these fees, the council, they want to raise all of these fees. They're talking fees like the bushel license, barbers and hairdressers, place of amusement and so on. I was the only councillor to stand on this floor and make it be known that will be too much pressure on the poor people of this parish. And all the other councillors raised one seat and did a vote. But what on, they said she was here at the time, you know that. She would have voted just like me. But the good news, when they sent it to the minister sent back and said none of them cannot raise it at this time. So the people of St. Thomas at least get a little ease. But what I'm saying in the future, one second. No, what do you mean? If a person does something that I believe is good, it's good. And at this moment in time, bear in mind the economic situation in the parish. We that's supposed to represent the people, we can't look for put pressure upon them. So I just want to say, none of these fees will be raised.
Running your worship, councillors, visitors, former member of parliament, Dr. Fenton Ferguson, agencies, other members in the gallery, members of the media, other members of the media, other members of the media, have a very good morning. We're highlighting the achievements and the challenges of the St. Thomas Health Department and the overall health services in the parish for the month of November. And so, before I start, I'd like to say a special welcome to our newest councillor, Miss Yvonne Shaw, who was sworn in this morning. Welcome, Miss Shaw. I apologize prior for the chief, who is out at another urgent meeting, and so we don't go into the report. Good thing for us, we're in this cold time of the year, and we don't have any COVID to worry about. That's a good thing. But we are having to consider that there may be the risk for dengue. The on and off rains are going to be the things that encourage the dengue mosquito to grow. So we're glad for the cooler times, which you typically don't have many mosquitoes growing, but you still have containers out there, the solid waste that's out there. And so I'm very happy to hear that NSWMA is actually conducting more collection, increasing the time during which they're collecting. I hope they get more trucks though. Alright, so happy with that. For us though, as a parish, the big challenge that we have is not just the solid waste, the tires that are out there, the tin cans that are out there. Our big challenge is the water shortage that we have. Because we have this water shortage, people are storing water. And so our 45-gallon drums, 55-gallon drums account for 80% of where we find breeding of these dengue mosquitoes. So what we genuinely need to improve the water supply, the distribution within the parish, so that people can store less and store better. We're also going to encourage persons that are out there to ensure that they're covering their drums so that the mosquitoes can't get access to it to breed in the drums. Alright, so for us, when we did our assessments, we did assessments of 9,732 premises for November, and we found what we call an 80s premises index of 16.5. This is high. It means that there's far more mosquitoes breeding than there should be. The maximum that you really should have is 5 to 10% roughly there. So the higher that the rate goes, is the greater the risk for there being transmission. What is saving us right now is how cool the time is. So they don't really have the mosquitoes surviving so well. As a parish, we do our adult suicide activities, which you see as us fogging. We have a fogging schedule that's out. And sometimes though that is hampered by the rain, because you can't fog in the rain. And sometimes it's too windy to fog. But we go out into the communities and we do our health education, our health promotion, teaching people how to actually protect their water sources and not allow them to have breathing, and to ensure that they're taking out the garbage. Councillor Williams' point is very relevant about people knowing when to take out the garbage. Because if you take out the garbage and it's not collected, it gets turned over by dogs and so on, and you end up having another problem. So I encourage everybody, bore holes in your tin cans if you're putting them out, because while they wait, they will be collecting rainwater and you have the mosquitoes breeding. For us, the drinking water, we're at a level of 93.5% chlorine residue for the parish overall, and really should be at 95%. And this is of the testing that we do. So it's of the number of tests that we do, 93.5% of them have the appropriate level of chlorine that is still in the water. And that ensures the water is safe. We're working with the different ministries and agencies to ensure that the water quality comes up to the 95%. At 95%, there is a lower risk of you having outbreaks of gastroenteritis and so on. Also want to say to everybody at this time of the year too, ensure that you're washing your hands, ensure that you're protecting your water that is in the house, not dipping dirty containers and stuff into the storage containers. At this time of the year, we tend to have, with the cooler times, you have this virus circulating in the air, and they end up getting a gastroenteritis come January and February. So let us do as best as we can with the hand washing and with the hygiene overall. We maintain our vigilance though for our malaria mosquitoes, the Anopheles albuminus, because they grow in drains and in canals and rivers edges. But when the Haitians or other people where there's malaria endemic in their countries come in, they put us all at risk. And we know sometimes they come in under the cover of dark and we don't see them. So we're still doing our fogging within the fishing villages, etc., and making sure that there are enough of these mosquitoes are in control. In terms of prevention, we are still doing our Know Your Numbers campaigns, and it's going to continue throughout the year and throughout the next year, because people need to know where they are, what their numbers are, what their risks are, and how to reduce those risks, and how to have the better quality of life. Because at the end of it all, it doesn't matter really how long you live, you need to live a good quality life. So for November, we screened 105 persons at different events across the parish. And the good thing is that this Sunday, as the mayor announced earlier, the mayor's treat combined with fireworks, combined with tree lighting, combined with concerts, we'll be doing a Know Your Numbers screening activity. So we're asking people to come out, get your testing done for your blood sugar, blood pressure, any cholesterol testing, looking at things that put you at a higher risk of having really bad chronic illnesses and early death or poor quality life. So that is this Sunday, December 15th at the Rudolph Elder Park. And for, I know there was a mention earlier or in the prior meeting about Arcadia. Arcadia is up and running, Arcadia Health Center. And we continue to look at improving it in terms of adding medical services to it, doctors' days to it. But for now, Port Morant is up and running, and we're facilitating those persons in Port Morant. That is the summary of the issues and achievements for November 2024. We'll take our questions at this point in time. And again, apologies for the chief who has to be out.
I just rise to acknowledge the efforts that has been inputted in bringing the Port Morant Health Center up to speed. I actually got reports that all doctors were present this past couple of weeks, and that's very commendable. I am hearing though that there's a threat of industrial action from the medical fraternity nationally. So how is that going to affect the operations of the health center when that materializes?
So everything that happens is an opportunity. And like Mr. McClure says, I always say that, he always says what he says. Everything is an opportunity. And so on Monday past, we had the number of doctors being out sick. It was very unfortunate that they were out sick. And in other parishes, there are not many Cuban medical doctors. But in St. Thomas, thanks to initiatives in the past, we got our Cuban doctors to be a part of us. So we have predominantly Cuban medical officers, part of the Jamaican-Cuban bilateral collaboration. And we do have Cuban doctors. So when our Jamaican doctors were sick, our Jamaican doctors were sick. It is that we were fortunate to have Cuban doctors who could then go harder, work harder, but still keep the services going. Unlike other parishes who did not have this opportunity of the bilateral contract. So that's how Port Barnes is able to stay out.
Dr. Smith, why when you visit the Princess Margaret Hospital, it takes long to get through. I know a person who visit the hospital from 11 a.m. and get through 6 p.m. Why it takes so long?
That's an unfortunate situation. I know what we have put in is there's no shift system at the Princess Margaret Hospital, and we have got an additional post for the Princess Margaret Hospital. So it is now that you have more doctors on duty, so you should see a better outcome going into this season, especially. So you should see a marked improvement. And every day we're employing additional doctors to improve it. Because in the past, and Dr. Ferguson can mention it, there were like 2 doctors at the hospital way back in the days. And those 2 used to have to see all of these many people. So with the additional posts that the Ministry of Health has afforded us, we're able to do employments, and we're continuing those employments to improve the quality of service that we give to the people. Because we serve the people, we are a part of the people. It's our relatives who come to the facilities. So we have to make sure that we improve it. And as Dr. Salty said one day, any of us can end up being there. It's not even about providing for others. It doesn't take anything for one of us to need emergency services. So you should see an improvement in that time.
Yes, sir. You see, we have to really call a spade if we're going to improve our parish and improve the public health situation in the parish. The situation that we have now is one that I can't speak mostly for the west side. I live on the west side of the parish. But maybe about 85% of the communities on the west side doesn't have consistent water from NWA. So you have a situation from NWC, sorry. So you have a situation where almost every house ago, you see one 3 or 1 4, 45-gallon drum at the back of the house because they need it for storage. Even if they have a tank, them still, you know, our parish have a lot of poor people. So them not have no tank, them are going to stick to 10 at the 45-gallon drum. Now, you have to take a deep look at this. So, even with all the efforts of the health department, how far are we going to move? What type of improvement, what type of value we have to add to the system when you have these 45-gallon drums? No, just have one of them drums there. Anybody want to run an experiment, have one of those drums at the back of your house or anywhere near you and keep it for about 2 weeks, and you see how much mosquito breeding on it. No, it's like we are trying to find out how much mosquito we can breed in a specific period of time. Like something like that we are doing. So until when NWC step up, we will always have this dengue situation. And any other mosquito-borne illness that could really affect us in St. Thomas, and we have to put it squarely at the feet of NWC. So no care will come to this meeting and talk until when NWC step up, we're going to have a problem. And it's very sad because all the part of the parishes in Jamaica don't have the situation. And none of them sit on the body of water like what St. Thomas sit on. Just out of good areas alone can supply the whole parish with water. And I'm telling you that. So why we have this problem? So we have to look at management. Or just these people just don't care. Because we have the water reserve. It's like those countries that boast that they have millions of gallons of barrel of oil in their reserve underground there. We have it in water. So it's like you go to Iran and Iran have a gas problem. Iran should have a gas problem. Can't have a gas problem because they sit on such a large reserve of oil. We sit on such a large reserve of water. We shouldn't be having this problem. So it's something that we seriously have to look at. Else we still we're just going to continue to have these mosquito-borne illness.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. Not just Moranby, but under Yellows and going towards where Flowers Farm going up towards the hills. There's enough water under that to supply St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Thomas. Not saying that we should send it to Kingston like that. But there's enough water to supply the whole parish. It's a matter of distribution.
Are you aware of the situation as it relates to laundry services at the hospital? That the laundry service is not up to par?
I would say that they're working on their laundry services at this point in time, and there are challenges with a couple of the machines that they're having sorted out. And so in disaster management, you always have a contingency, or redundancy is the famous word for disaster management. And so there are measures that have been put in place to have the laundry sorted out at other facilities while it is that they're correcting the challenges. So it's an ongoing process at this point in time.
Might I ask, what are the challenges that you're having?
Well, I wouldn't be able to speak about it in detail. I have to speak back with the Chief Executive Officer and the Parish Manager. So for the next meeting, I'll be able to better share.
This morning, I was also told by members of my constituents about no sheets on the bed at the hospital.
That is not Princess Marriott Hospital. At other hospitals we have. I can say that. From my little kid, I've been going to the hospital. I'm an asthmatic. I've been to the hospital and been at the hospital several times. And one of the things that we do in St. Thomas is, given that we're in the east, whenever hurricanes come to the island, it goes nowhere else, except for last time when it went to St. Elizabeth. But if it goes nowhere else, it comes to St. Thomas. And one of the things that we ensure, if it's a rainy 3-4 days or a week, 2 weeks afterwards, you can't dry sheets on the line. And there will be no electricity for dryer services. So one of the things that we always have is a redundancy of sheets, which we then distribute as it becomes necessary. We may not be able to wash the sheets that are just used because we have to then move them elsewhere.
Point of order, Chairman. Point of order. Dr. Smith, I have pictures that I can share with you in that respect.
I stand against really sewage system at Bowling Grove. Whenever your inspector chief is not here, but I remember we have that issue and it's still turned around. So I don't know where the position with it right now. So it's really a problem for the resident of Bowling Grove Meadows, and I see the MP stepping in, so probably she can give you some advice as to where we're going to fix it. So I yet to hear because it's still a long real right now to speak, they cannot flush. So you know exactly. We have that issue and we want to give the individual their own sewage, but the health department is saying that we cannot. And Minister of Agriculture did also agree to give the individual sewage, right? So I want to find out, still going to court, or still are they going to fix it, or if there's a contract over to refurbish the one there, or build a new one.
So I'll answer the question to you first. We took the case out of court.
Alright.
On time. And so before going off, I know we had a meeting. The health department and the Ministry of Agriculture had a meeting somewhere in August or July, because I'm just back. And they would have been looking at how it is that we could provide a system that is fixed, refurbished, functional for the people in Golden Grove Meadows. I will have to get my update on that meeting, being just back. But one thing I can say is that for on-site sewage management, there needs to be a particular amount of space. It needs to have a certain amount of space for the sewage to be distributed and to be treated. And the lot sizes are not enough space to accommodate this. So if we're trying to help the situation and we put these in, we'll be actually helping the people down. And so when you have an outbreak, we'll be the ones who would be held accountable for the outbreak. When it is that we really should ensure that there's a proper sewage system and one that functions. So I'm looking forward to the council's continued intervention in the matter, because we're promised 2019, 2020, that it is that the Ministry of Agriculture will put in an appropriate system.
It's also aware that after we see how disastrous the highway was, the Prime Minister gave Mr. Hunter full. I can use the mic. Mic. That's fine.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, it's also aware that after we have seen how disastrous the road construction project was, we're talking about our highway in St. Thomas, Southern Coastal Highway. The Prime Minister then gave Mr. Hunter the job to oversee that project. And yet still, we that reside in the parish that use the highway every day still see it as a disaster. So at this time, it's only fair to us to call on the Prime Minister to give a fulsome report of the stewardship of Mr. Hunter. And that is so important, because you can't just give a man a job just for politics' sake. It's important that that job be done and be done in the most efficient way possible. So we want to hear from the Prime Minister himself, because remember, the book really stopped with the Prime Minister. Him and the man, we appoint an individual. Him and the man, we have confidence in the management skill of Mr. Hunter. So at this time, we need to hear from the Prime Minister. Give a report on Mr. Hunter and let the people of St. Thomas be able to critique it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is council aware of the resident in the Dalby division for the past 2 weeks of the heavy rain and the road condition that's the rain on the surface of the traverse from one point to another. This I'm asking because the reason why I stand, NAA does not come to our meeting. NAA, I cannot go to NAA and say the main road needs to fix. Right? And I have it, this road is from Tapo, some down at Chiswick to go to Tapo. All them stay. So I come with it because I can't go to NAA. I have to speak in my domain. So I'm asking for this council the right to NAA, because this Christmas would be a bad Christmas for these residents. Right? So I am not looking. I'm just looking for help. This is just some of many. You can speak there. And this is the next one. Right? I am asking. Right? I take the opportunity to take the CEO and the engineer, not to go on a joyride, but to show them the sufferation of the people in the Dalby division. I'm asking for the help Mr. Chairman, through this office, both local and through the NWA. I spoke with the parish manager, NWA, him saying that I have the authority to speak with me. Him can listen, but he didn't answer. So I'm asking that be right to Mr. Hunter or whosoever, because this road, there might be some mal for the Christmas. And I say to you again, you speak with them. So I'm asking madam, that is something, but him on the local road, I asked already and we are assistant to see what they can do for those local roads.
Council aware that the Roland's Field main road have two massive breakaway, Jim. People are in danger up there. Two massive breakaway. The road, Roland's Field main road is in a very, very bad condition right now. You can hardly drive on that road. You can hardly drive on that road. Two massive breakaway. So what them could use the office to get some big speed up on that road. And the next thing, Chairman, I just want to go to Council to just congratulate her. What she got through the other day, she actually won the entire cabinet, including the Prime Minister, including you as well, and all the JLP councillors. What you go through the other day? Well, this is all out. The only person that say is Minister Lee. So when she go through the other day, Chairman, the whole entire cabinet and parliamentarian on the other side, and she beat her. The whole entire JLP councillors, that included all Mark B councillors as well, JLP, and this lady come out victorious. What we see happening the other day, and the first thing I see this. Yes. Yes. But I first see this, Chairman. Something we see happen to the parish the other day. You have a road fixing one day. You have road fixing one day. You have tanks, all different things start giving. Building material as well. Let's say, house building one day. All different type of things happen there in the Chairman. But I just want to congratulate. Thank you.
If no, it's the richest man going to just buy democracy or stuff like that, you know. Because let me tell you something. We have to be careful what we are bringing for ourselves, you know, as a people, you know. It can't be a situation through a man rich, him a good leader, you know. Because we know it goes up. It can't be a situation through a man have more money than me. Him a go win the seat, you know. It can't be a situation where the youth will go to school, study every day, don't believe said there's a possibility that he can become the leader of his land or the leader of his space because he come from a wealthy family, you know. Them think that cannot be good for the nation, you know. And when them think that man, when the youth them see it, so a poor youth that just thinks that boy, I don't want to wait for me, I have to turn the baddest man, I have to turn the most notorious man. Because when we see happen the other day, we as politicians should be ashamed of ourselves. Because we don't have Bamboo River. And we see one truck does a draw material one day, in and out, in and out. Them something that cannot be good for democracy. We have to take a deep look at ourselves and examine ourselves. Me tell you that if we want to call it by-election, and we want to spell it the way we want to spell it because, you know, we have that side that have the money, do it. But I'm saying to you, we have a price to pay for all of these things. You understand, you know? Because democracy have a certain power. Remember, you know? We could not just go up on you and find the brightest man and say, I'm a turn prime minister, you know? But there's so much other things you need to turn the leader of the land. Does that man have a good heart? How kind is he? Does that man care for the poor? So democracy our founding fathers think about this thing, before they put the system here together, And whenever we start to breach the system, there's consequences for it. Some of them will never see the same day, but years to come, we will see it. So I'm saying to all of us in this room, be careful of the monster that we are trying to create, because when we create it, we can't deal with it, we can't control it. We all know the story of Chucky. You understand? So I'm just saying, be careful what we are doing. And again, what we demonstrate the other day in Mark Division, that money is never stronger than love. Money will never be stronger than love. Once you have love, once you love the poor man, once you're willing to share with the poor, the fools will come with their money, but they will depart from we, because that the people must say, because the Bible don't tell me that. Sister Rose,
speak it, brother.
The word is love and will never be loved.
Speak it, brother.
It's some light, some street light put up.
You don't want street light.
It's only when a gun needed to see that show.
Eh?
You can't see street light reflect out. It's only when the gun needed to go to the street light.
You need to correct it.
Your Worship, is this council aware that the licensed post office has been closed and residents, our pensioners, the elderly, have to be paying 2 fares, as a matter of fact 4, from license to Morant Bay? I'd like to move for suspension of standing order to elaborate.
So move. Second.
I have been bombarded by residents in this regard. Our pensioners, you know that the pension is very minimal. They have to be paying fares, 2 fares, from Morant Bay back to license. And I spoke with the person who rented the property. The property was rented to government, and he told me that for 4 years he has not received a dime from rent. Now these situations, council, is untenable, and we ought to treat our senior citizens, at least have a little more care and compassion in this respect. So I'm asking that a letter be sent to, is it the Postmaster General or the ministry? The ministry that is involved in this regard, asking that the post office be reverted back to license so that the community and its environs can have an ease on the public situation. Also, since I'm standing on my feet, I'd just like to ask if council is aware that 95% of the parochial roads in the Morant Bay division is at an appalling state. Let me elaborate. I had a tour of the division, and during the campaign, even before I saw the problem, but now I can speak as a representative of the people, as an advocate of the people. And I won't be deterred in speaking on these issues. And I don't care who want to say who was there from 19 when and 19. I am speaking about now. Most of those roads are in disrepair. And I can recall when I was campaigning the other day, I remember persons were saying to me, you were the last person to fix this road. And maybe, councillor, that is what helped with things that I used to do in the past. So there is no way that I'm going to come to this council and sit down and do not advocate for the citizens of this division, and by extension, the citizens and my constituents of Eastern St. Thomas. I would like a letter to be sent to the Ministry of Local Government pointing out the bad condition of the parochial roads. I remember in former years, and my councillor who is deceased, I asked him, what is the situation with the roads? Because we used to go out on politics, we used to go out on socials, and when we look at the road, I said, aren't you getting money from the St. Thomas Parish Council for these roads? And he told me in no uncertain way, no, there was no money coming for roads other than the parochial funding. And I am new to the system, so I want to be advised or some clarity. Because I can recall when I was sitting at the parish council up in Morant there, we used to send resolutions and money used to come to this council for roads. I recall 2 councillors in this parish council under the PNP. Comrade Lanscombe for Bath, yours truly for Morant. And I remember it was Mayor Spencer who was the mayor then, and we advocate for road. And I remember Dean Pate was the minister in charge of roads. And when I went to the mayor, I said, let us do something. And I advocated for a road in Browns Gully. And I recall Mayor Spencer said to me at that time, boy, Rose, you alone can't get road, you know, me have to get one too. Eh? And I said, I spoke with the minister in turn asked about a road for the Seafood Division. And I remember Mayor Spencer said she needed Prendergast Road along with Browns Gully. So when we came around the table, it was like a joke. Because they were saying that Vivian advocated for her part of the pie. So I am going to be advocating here. I hear about various programs. I hear about Sparks programs. I hear about, up to now, I am not afraid with those programs. I am mindful that something needs to be done to the parochial road in this Morant division. Thank you.
I continue along the line of the state and condition of the roadway as it is specific to Fortnightly division. Every month I come here, I hear us talking about the Southern Coastal Highway, which is supposed to add value to our parish. But the other roadways that were not a part of the upgrade are continuing to deteriorate. In Port Morant, Harborhead Road, one of the main thoroughfares that leads us to Bath, is in a state of disrepair that's almost, it cannot be explained. More than a year ago, the road was squared for patching, and to this day, it has not been patched. So we have cars grounding out on the mounds that are in Port Morant as of now. A couple of months ago, a private business person did some amount of, I don't even know what that is, drop mall and try to do something because of his business and he had to do it. But the rains, recent rains, just made matters worse. It's worse now than it was before. I did my bit, even though it's not a road that falls under my portfolio, to try to alleviate some of the suffering by adding some more. But it's gone back to worse than it was before. When we consider the roads that go through Port Morant, they are the gateway to 3 of the 4 divisions we have in this parish. And as such, it's intolerable. We cannot continue anymore. So I'm demanding that we make contact with Works Agency or the Member of Parliament. I have reached out to her as well. And she has expressed that she's willing to have discussions with me. But to this date, we have not had a discussion. Why? Specific discussion. And so I'm reaching out again. I have taken to social media on more than one occasion. The Curtis Bottom Road, I call it the Port Morant Lake. The other day I had to breach all protocols and have a tractor try to drain that thoroughfare. Still not successful, but 2 weeks from now we have Christmas, and there's no way as the representative of the Portmore division I will sit by and not try to do my best to ensure that the citizens can have a festive Christmas. It's still going to be a little wet for them, but they won't be drowning. But I'm calling on the authorities to do something. Portmore deserves much better than they are receiving now.
The problem that we have seen in terms of broken roads is that in my first term as councillor, every councillor, each and every one, used to get a road from the equalization fund. These days it's like the equalization fund don't exist, and that's the purpose of the equalization fund. Yes. So we get nothing from the equalization fund. So the only fund that's available to a councillor is a regular monthly procurement fund. No other fund. And me, you know that can only help with maintenance. That cannot help in terms of refurbishing a road or stuff like that, because we know these days that road construction is very, very expensive, costly. So the problem is that no money from I don't know what the equalization fund is doing. And you see, a lot of councillors is not willing to stand up and talk about the tough things, like the equalization fund, because we know that is run by the minister. The minister really run that fund. But let me tell you something about me. Once I'm doing my job, I don't really care. And the thing is that the minister needs to do the right thing. Like for me, as a PNP councillor, I know I will never get, I have done resolution upon resolution upon resolution requesting money from the equalization fund. And from 2016, it's like nothing is available. I don't know if other councillors from the other side get anything from equalization fund. But I know that on my side, myself, Washing, so forth, we don't receive nothing from the equalization. I'm speaking specifically to the equalization fund. So I'm just saying, until when we start to get back these roads from the equalization fund, we're going to always have a problem, because what we're getting now is a regular road maintenance fund. And I'm going to tell you this, based upon the laws, the procurement fund is really just for maintenance. It's not for road construction. So I just want to put that out there. But at times, we try to collaborate, and you'll be able to do a one road maybe every 2 years. Because by the time you to circulate and reach out to every councillor, it's like a partner draw system. It takes some kind, in Christmas you can't take no downtime because you have all the beautification and so forth and so forth. So until the day when we start to get back from the equalization fund, we're going to end the same.
So Chairman, I just want to say to Councillor Williams that maybe you haven't received any roads from the equalization funds, and I can't dispute that. But Councillor Mattison, I am sure when I receive Marvally Drive through the equalization fund, you also receive a road from the minister. So I am going to say that I am proud to stand here, that under my belt, I can identify 5 roads that I have done in my division. 5 from 2018 until now. And I don't want anyone to stand there based on any political difference. We have the best local minister, and I say that without apology. What I am going to say to you this morning, Mr. Chairman, you are the man in charge. And I believe that the scope in which you are doing your program need to revise. And when you revise that program, you will see the way forward that the Minister of Local Government wants the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation to run.
Thank you. Councillor Lee, congratulations on getting 5 roads done from 2018 to now. And you know, I wish I could say the same. I would really like to say the same. but you have been blessed with having a minister from your party. And that's what I'm talking about. You talk right into what I want to talk about. Equity. There have to be a level of equity in the system. You can't put a man up there and say he's the best, but this man is not fair. He's not fair because you were able to done 5.
A point of order, Mr. Chairman. Councillor Williams, I just want to say to you, out of the 5, it's only 1 I've received through the equalization fund. Right? It's only 1. So from the other 4, 1 was done through your program, and the 3 other through me and you, with the program that we have that go on for the month. What have happened is that under your tenure, per month it was cut to 1, but under farmer, me and you, it was 2 per month. So let I just clarify to say that it's only 1 that was done under the equalization fund at the same time when Councillor Mattison received his as well. So don't believe that the other 4 was from my member of parliament or the minister separate. It was through the council. Okay.
It was a point order, so I have to finish. It was a point order, so I have to finish. I didn't finish. It was a point order. It was a thank you very much. Yeah, man. It was a point order, so I have to finish. Thank you very much for the clarification. Councillor, you had 5 votes. And as I said, we don't have the records here, so you can't tell me whatever. I've sat in the big man seat already. So I know exactly what the situation was. So maybe you can convince the meeting, but you're not going to convince. I can speak from a position of facts. No, what I was saying, the road maintenance fund, and it's important enough for you to sit back in the seat and get some knowledge today. The road maintenance fund is for maintenance of the road. It's not for refurbishing the road or road construction. What we normally construct road from is the equalization fund. The equalization fund, there's a formula that they use to send money to the equalization fund. So it's something in law that they use this formula that government set up, that certain percentage of the tax go to that. The minister is the one who controls the equalization fund. The equalization fund have a lot of money in it, but it seems as if it's doing the wrong thing. Like example, running by-election and so forth and so forth and so forth. I'm saying, back when Minister Ascot was Minister of Local Government, all of us here get project from the equalization fund. Road been built, wall been built, and so forth and so forth. And I'm telling you, there were people from the other side who benefit too. So, and Councillor MacLeod is sitting here. That's good governance. No, because a man is green or a man is orange and me green or me orange. Me look out for this set of people and me look out for this set. That don't make you become the greatest. You can't be the greatest. Mommy will never be the greatest, you only be weak guys. He be the great tax foreman too. So I'm saying to you, be careful. You only work on one local government minister, so I'm not sure you listen to you. Because one, so the way I say I just the I like a man who have one girl all his life. She's the best girl in the world, but it's the only girl. He's the only girl. 1 second. He have ever had. We have 5 minutes time. Alright, so I'm saying you only work for one man. Make a veteran like me. Make a veteran like me. Tell you about great local government. So all I'm saying, we need to go back to the days where we get help from the equalization fund to have better roads. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to clarify something. Mr. Williams, I didn't get nothing from Mr. Oscar. That was a clarification. I did not. Mr. Brian was trying.
Matis Nashi and over the agreement.
I move the